Alright, hey everybody. I am MadMegaX381. You can just call me MadMega. This is QuackShot starring Donald Duck. So this is the second Donald Duck game in Pixels for Peace that I'm running this weekend. Big fan of the Angry Mallard. So let's get started. Can just go right ahead. I'll count us down here in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait, hold on a second. It jumped ahead on me. All right, we'll do that again. We'll get it right this time. 3, 2, 1. All right. So the basic story of QuackShot is it's kind of like if Donald Duck was trying to be Indiana Jones. He has a little map. He's trying to find a treasure, and the entire game basically revolves around the idea that Donald is, he's always a little greedy, so he's always looking for a way to get treasure or whatnot. So in this game, that's exactly what's happening, and what we do is we have a couple of different places that we can go on the opening map. And so we start with Mexico. And the reason we start with Mexico is that we need to be told that there's a locked door here so that we can get the key from somebody in Duckburg. So a lot of the routing for this is basically just knowing what order to go to the locations in. I kind of like to think of it as like baby's first Metroidvania. You basically have to get power-ups and everything at all the different stages so that you can open up more of the map later on. It's kind of a neat little idea how it works. And so just like the Lucky Dime Caper, we have a plane that gets us to our stages that we're going to at different times. So now we're in Duckburg. And this is the first opportunity to show off the temper mechanism. So when Donald has enough peppers, he gets angry, and he does this. And it's really funny. So we he gets angry, he moves very fast. It's really helpful, but unfortunately, we don't get to use it super often. So we just talked to that guy real fast, and he gave us the hero key, which we're going to use to open this door here. And now we're in the temple. So you'll notice that I'm sliding around a bit. When you hold down and hit the jump button, you slide, not unlike a Mega Man game. But one of the differences there is that if you mash C, you'll keep your speed up as you slide. So instead of it being just like you have one slide and it lasts for X number of frames, you can keep your slide, just mash your slide. Except when you are underneath like a single tile high space, then you can only slide once per. You can't mash your slides. You can only do one at a time. So it's a little slower then, but that's okay. Got caught there. That's unfortunate, but that's all right. Oh no. So this is I'm gonna take it a little safe here because if I'm a little low on health already, so I don't want to take any more hits here. So we're going to take this temple a little more cautious than I kind of wanted to, but that's okay. And here's Goofy. For some reason, if you play a lot of Disney games, you'll find that Goofy ends up in just the weirdest places. He is always in front of our intrepid heroes. He is just I don't know how he does it. He's just always ahead of whoever the main character in the video game is that he's in. It's really crazy. But so that's that's just a little story on Goofy there, I guess. He's always doing stuff like that. So now we got our first upgrade, which I should probably talk about. And this is the red plunger. So the key about the red plunger, the yellow plunger is pretty basic. It doesn't really do anything. But the red plunger can stick to walls. And we like the fact that it can stick to walls because now it allows us to go further in Duckburg. So we're going to get out of the temple here. We'll get back on our aeroplane. And now we're going to go back to Duckburg. So, but now that we can climb sheer walls, we have a lot more ability to move around the game here. Oops. Took a little hit there. That's alright. That's not a problem. Just slide off of there. That is absolutely a place where you can die if you try to just jump it, but if you just slide, there's no problems there whatsoever. So that's nice. Here's a nice little section. You're on a just riding along on some power lines while some happy little music plays, and you don't want to get shocked, which is pretty obvious. That's bad. So we're going to avoid that. This is we pick up different things. So you'll notice that that Donald has his little plunger gun, but he also has the ability to fire popcorn. And now Gyro Gearloose is giving us some bubblegum ammo. Bubblegum ammo is kind of like the most powerful thing in the game. It can blow up walls or like break them, I guess, and it's really useful for fighting bosses. So we'll be putting that to good use here in the near future. Go ahead, Minix. Oh. So we're gonna try to. Oh, I missed it. There, what you want to do there, ideally, is jump there. And I cut my slide a little late, so that's all right. We're still moving along here. Get to our flag. So now we get to go to Transylvania, because what would a game set in the greater DuckTales universe be if we didn't deal with Dracula Duck, right? Oh. See, I want to hit that guy because he's got a 1-up. And that would be really nice to have, a little bit of marathon safety here. So now we're running by. We're trying to deal with all of these bats and everything. Now we're at Dracula's castle. And now this is the reason why we needed the bubblegum ammo. Is that this haunted castle has these walls that you can't get through with our normal weaponry, so so we're using our bubblegum ammo to break through these walls and these chests and everything, and get a little refill there, and we keep on sliding through. Nice and easy. Now, for the only water section in the entire game, where you move, Donald's movement goes super wonky in the water. It's the same as normal basically, but just a lot slower. So this is a place where if you can at all, but if you can get your movement clean, it can save you a good bit of time just because everything happens a little slower here. And in we go. And we should be able to jump right out of here. Okay, cool. So now what's coming up is a section that can be kind of annoying. Oh, no. Oh. Stupid ghosts got me. So what you want to try to do there is you actually want to get hit before you land on this little elevator that shows up. Because otherwise, when you take damage, your sprite will just phase through that elevator, which we don't want, which happened. So, of course, that's a little unfortunate. Not the end of the world. We're going to have to jump down there so we don't get hit by that ghost. So coming up here is a neat skip, if I can get it right. So we jump up here, and so this wall would follow me as I climb up, and it would try to crush me, but we're not going to deal with that. We're just going to climb up into it, and we do little bit of a death warp that saves us a bit of time. It's definitely much preferable to... Oh, geez, the ghosts are just being really, really mean to me today. All right. So now we get Dracula Duck. All right. So that's basically the entire fight is just stand under Dracula and try not to get hit by his bats, because that's you know, that's what he does. He sends bats at you, and that should do it. That's the end of Dracula. All right. So now that we've finished Transylvania, we open up the rest of the map. So we're gonna head over to Maharaja. Oops. And now we get to be angry again. So that's one of my favorite little sequences there, is you get to be you get to run through all those guys. So there's a little skip here. Let's see if we get it. No, you can skip some of the dialogue boxes in this game if you move correctly. What happens there is that you're challenged to deal with a tiger in one of the rooms. So you basically have to solve this puzzle that you don't know where you're going. You have to solve this little maze. But I know where I'm going, so no problem for me. So we're going to deal with this. Switch over to the popcorn. And now we get to fight a tiger. Oh, jeez. For some reason, I jumped there. Oh no, that's terrible. That is the first time I've died to the tiger, and I can't even tell you how long. That's terrible. You can only hit him when he's in the air, which makes it very difficult to fight him. And his hitbox is kind of bad, so let's see how this goes. Alright, I think that might have worked. There we go. Woof. That was a really bad fight. That's okay. We'll make it up. We get to see the awesome idle animation for Donald where he's just a little angry. So now we get this Tear of the Sphinx. So that means now that we can make our way over to Egypt, we have what we need to open the door over there. So we've got some more angry, a little more temper going on. We'll see if we'll put that to good use here again. One of the things that is kind of neat about this is that the enemies that drop things, they all have little bags. You'll notice that they all have little satchels, basically, and that's how you know that that they'll drop something. So now we're in another like dungeon sort of scenario. Just try to get through these moving platforms as quickly as we can. We're going to try to beat one of the cycles here. Ideally, we can get on top of this one. No. Can't do it. Not today, apparently. But one of the nice things about knowing the game is that you know where all of the shortcuts are. So we're going to just use this and not worry about falling into anything. So this room is actually this is a room where I tend to die in a lot because the game will just occasionally decide that Donald will just run or not run when he lands on platforms. Because there's a run button. If you hold A, you'll run the entire time. So the entire game, I'm holding down run, and sometimes when you're holding down run and you land on a platform, he'll accelerate, and sometimes he will just kind of stop and it'll eat an input. It just does. It's okay. This sequence, we have to walk up and down these mountains here, these little hills. What you can do is if you slide and then you like cancel your slide right at the last second, you can carry slide momentum up a hill. It's a little precise, but it's faster than doing it the other way. Unfortunately, I really didn't get any of them that time. That's okay, though. So we're gonna... This is supposed to be a puzzle, but we don't do it. We just get past the... You're supposed to push down different blocks that'll let you raise the ceiling that's collapsing on you. We don't do that. I just run to the wall and jump up. In fact... I don't actually know the solution because when I played this casually, that's how I beat it. I actually beat it by completely ignoring the puzzle. I was like, "Oh, puzzle? I don't need a puzzle. Who's got time for a puzzle? We've got places to go." All right, so now we go to the South Pole. Yeah, so you saw how much faster I moved there. That was getting the zip correctly with the slide animation. So here we go. Whee! So this has, I think this stage has some of the best music in the entire game, and I think the game has pretty solid music. But this is this is definitely some top-notch music for sure. So what we picked up in Egypt is the Staff of Ra, which allows us to warm up this ice to pick up the Viking key. So now that means we can go to the Viking ship. Oops. Alright, so now we're just dealing with some angry Viking ladies. They're not super happy with me right now, but that's okay. Up we go. Ride this mast up. No problemo. This is another stage that has pretty good music. So I'm actually going to go down here to the bottom and pick up that 1-up for safety, just to have an extra 1-up, just in case. Sometimes bad things happen. It's better to be prepared. Now we slide all the way off. Now I'm going to try... Alright, so what happened there is I was able to skip a whole dialogue section, so now I don't have to talk to that old Viking guy until I'm done with this entire ship area. So, there we go. Viking boss being a bit of a problem today for me. Oh, that was way too early. So the way this should work is I should be able to stun lock him, but needless to say that hasn't been going super well here. But I think we got it now. There we go. And now we talked to him, and we saved ourselves an entire discussion. And now we have the green plunger. What the green plunger allows us to do is it allows us to grab a hold of flying animals and ride them. So before you would get to this section and you'd be like, well, how am I supposed to make this jump here? And you wouldn't be able to do it. But now we just hop a ride on our friendly bird here. And Donald hangs on for dear life as we traverse this very long bottomless pit. And you can switch your side that you're kind of hanging off of, but it really doesn't matter. The birds that come by and drop bombs, you can face this way and they won't hit you anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So it's just kind of like sit there and wobble back and forth. And now we get to go to my favorite screen in the entire game is this one here, simply because it has my favorite enemy in the whole game, which is Chompers. And that's Chompers right there. He's a not-so-friendly killer whale. And he has some of the best sound effects ever. He is a hungry fellow. So we have to make sure we don't get bit by him. That's not something you'll want. Don't want to get bit by Chompers. Alright, and now coming up is one of the major, like, sequence breaks in the game. So, what we can do here is you're not supposed to be able to get down this way. What this does is it saves us from going all the way around. And it allows us to just go straight to the Viking Diary, which is what we've been trying to get the whole time, because that's where that's where we'll be able to find the secret treasure. But Pete, because Pete is always a jerk, he kidnapped the nephews and forced us to give him the Viking book. So now we have to we've rescued the kids, but now we've got to go deal with Pete, because it's super not cool that he just stole our Viking book that lets us find the secret treasure. So we're not super happy with him right now. So we're gonna go beat him up. So this is the hideout. I'd say this is probably the hardest stage in the game. From top to bottom, there's probably more difficult stuff in this section than in just about every other stage for sure. So we slide around here. We're gonna take this here, go a little slower, pick up a little bit of corn, so we have popcorn for our pop gun shooter. Now we have another cart riding sequence, because of course we do, and we can jump all the way from back there and walk over. This is the segment here that is probably the scariest thing for a lot of the speedrun, is these platforms here. So you're trying to make your way all. Oh boy, got a little close there for sure. And all right. Okay, there we go. Whew. That is a scary section. The entire segment is just over a bottomless pit, so you really don't want to fall down there if you can help it. Okay, so this is another cool little sequence break. What they want you to do is they want you to go down there. We're not going to do that, because the way that Donald's movement works is that there's a little bit of like ice physics almost in this. where Donald will he'll kind of still move even if you stop pushing forward. So if you hold down, what'll happen is he will just we're just gonna kill that guy. He'll just give you the ability to slide in midair there and not let you get away with without having to do a much longer segment there. And of course, Pete is being just the most Pete version of himself he can be. Nope. So we have to hit him about 10 times here. And then he will give us the book back, and then we can go get the treasure. Alright, there it is. Got the Viking Diary back, so we're going to use it. We dip it in water, and now we know where we're going. We're going to find the treasure. Lost Duck Island. Alright, is there a troll snake? Troll snake? Sometimes there's a third snake that likes to troll you and hit you there, but we didn't see him today, so that's good. That's a good sign. That's a good omen. So now we're just going to slide on these leaves here. Give some snakes the old plunger attack. We're just going to walk off of these. Oh no! So we just fell to our doom. That happens occasionally. It's one of the risks of being an adventurer, is that you can sometimes fall to your doom. It happens. But that's okay. That's why we picked up some of those extra lives there. I was afraid something like that might happen. Oh no. Alright. So, we've seen this before, right? We're just gonna make through here. Deal with these leaves one more time. What? It ate my slide. The easiest way to deal with those is literally to slide off of them, and the game just decided that it wasn't going to let me do it. So that's... Wow, just falling into the pit here. It's been a thing. All right, 1, 2, 3, jump. Okay, let's do it this way. Whew. All right, we're gonna jump up like this, because these plants are just blowing up. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Whew, buddy. Okay, and now we are in the final temple. And we have a little bit low health, but that's okay, because we get to pick up a chicken there, or roast duck. I guess. It's a little weird that that's how Donald gets his health back up. But I'm not going to question it if you won't. So, let's keep going here. It's alright, take that hit there, that's no big deal. And up we go. Alright. Now we have a little bit of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade situation happening here. Have to walk across there with faith. And now this is the last boss. Have this Viking dude wants to throw his sword at me. So we're going to hopefully set this up right where... now we just sit here and we wait and we hit this, because what we managed to do is we kept the sword far enough away from the wall, but when we move the screen, the game isn't exactly sure where everything is, so it kind of puts the last boss into this stun lock here. So time will be coming up. We've got like 2 or 3 more hits here, and I will let you know. But we just kind of stand here and we let Donald's idle animation go, and he gives me a look. And when he looks at me, that's when I know that I need to shoot the Viking here. And time. So now, finally, someone who is worthy of the treasure. And we get the treasure that we've been hoping to get. And it is just a stone figurine of a duck princess. How terrible, right? That's so bad. But, you know, so Donald goes through all of this because he wants to impress Daisy Duck. And all he has is a plain duck statue. And Daisy is none too pleased. Luckily, our nephews are a little clumsy. They break it, and inside of that stone statue was a gorgeous jewel necklace, so Daisy's happy. And now Donald's happy, so everybody's happy. So, thanks everybody for having me. Thanks for watching. I'm glad I got to show off these 2 Donald Duck games that are pretty cool. Thank you everybody for donating. Super great. Thank you to Pixels for Peace for having me again. Love to do this anytime available. I'll always like to help out. So that's it for me. Again, just big thanks, big shout outs to everybody, and with that, I guess I'll be done for tonight. Stick around. We've got a little bit of time left, so let's see how high we can get these donations to go. All right, everybody. So have a good night from me, and stick around. There's still plenty of good stuff on the way.
Thank you, MadMegaX381, for that awesome run of QuackShot. Coming up next, we have Paperboy Run by Peanut Fan 22. That's one of those games, man, for childhood. It's like, man, ambitions to read as of yet. We did raise the goal to 2.5K. Let's see how close we can get to it, guys. Let's go. We've only got a couple games left. So let's listen to some tunes.